The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back. Another episode of HBCU Hour presented by the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Bear. I got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy?
Just watching this game, man. Thought it was gonna be a good one, but
some people had other things in mind. Man, I gotta stop messing with this camera, man. I be having moving and stuff, and I come back and it be all over the place. Yeah, but man, it's Monday Night Football. Jets, Bills. Yeah.
No Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was at practice. Was he doing anything before he got hurt, or was he
It was the first drive.
Oh wow.
He played like 4 plays.
Got to be more careful. But hey,
look like they got a quarterback situation on their hands.
Oh, is Zach Wilson doing good?
No. But I mean, they might not have no choice if this Aaron Rodgers injury is as serious as some people believe it may be.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, Zach Wilson, he did pretty good in the preseason. I mean, it's preseason, and then again, he's going against.
He ain't looking too good tonight.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well. Let me ask this, man, or let me say this: phenomenal weekend of college football, especially on the HBCU side, as always. Jordan said, "Where is Mike White?"
Miami.
Well, there you go. Miami. But we talked about it last night. Grambling LSU. Talk some more about that. FAMU, USF. Man, I put it like this, man. The FBS, the HBCU game versus HBCU games. A lot of them are money games. But a lot of these starting not to be money games. These starting to be get paid, you know what I'm saying, to dish out some lessons.
Well, not as many as we would like.
More than we, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's definitely not a pushover anymore.
Definitely not. So talent is we'll get to it, man. We'll get to it. Let me stop teasing the folks, man. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Y'all know what it is, man. First off, want to tell everybody thank you for joining us. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. If you're enjoying the content, do us a favor, subscribe, like, share, super chat. We're also on Facebook. You can do Facebook stars. We take Cash App, all that, man. For $1 a day, you can send a Pooh Bear and an Ant to SEC. I'm sorry, the SWAC championship. I do that every time. And then when I'm talking about the SEC, I call it the SWAC. I'm hitting that grandma stage, that granddad stage.
Boy got amnesia.
And call like all my children be the same name.
Oh, I do that too, but yeah, that's just because they name all start with A.
I'd be like, hey,
it was good idea at the time, but
you. Hey, you, yeah. Come here. You know what I'm talking to. Not you, the other you.
Well, I be calling them oldest, middles, youngest sometimes too.
For real. Oh man, I ain't even gotta worry about that. And then I don't, Dylan always be right here anyway. So I'd be like, hey, you. You know what I'm talking about. Go get your brother. Go get your sister. Hey, girl. That's what I was saying. It's on the
318 in the building. I see
Hey,
you.
girl.
What up, big country?
Yeah, but here we go, man. Let's get into it. Y'all know who it is. We got to do what we got to do. Shout out to our sponsors over at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag. We'll be back in 1 minute. BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hey, once again say thank you, everybody. Jordan, to Raj, Josh. What's good, Josh? Flex, Kelly. What's good? Kelly's supposed to be with us on Thursday.
Yes,
but you know, he be out there.
sir.
He be out there getting his Bill Parcells on his Bill Belichick. Having them kids running annexation Puerto Rico. What's good, Jay White said. Main over Dooley. We're gonna find out this weekend. Chuck, as always. Man, anybody over Dooley.
I told you, boy, them Southern fans on Dooley head right about now, man.
Yes, sir. Man, listen. I want I want to start there before we, dive too deep. What's up, Dr. Cavill? Man, me at Mike too. What's good? The Monday morning, SWAC coaches teleconference is always, you see two sides of the coaches, man. The coaches who won or had a good game, they come in, they be smiling, telling jokes. Coach Hampton with UAPB, it's still fresh on him. He's still in that honeymoon phase. He coming that thing amped every Monday. Yeah. Every Monday. What's up, everybody? You know what I'm saying? We fought hard.
Him, though, man. He got
energy,
you know what I'm
saying? We fought hard. We, shout out to all the winners, good, congratulations, man. We're gonna be with y'all. My team fought hard, we came a little short. Then Coach Dooley come in there. Coach Dooley be like, hey, we did what we were supposed to do, what we was trying to do, so you ask him a question he don't like, Coach Dooley be like, you can tell he get mad, man. See the steam coming out from up under the ascot. But nah, man, it's always good, man, to hear from the coaches. It is like an interesting perspective, though. But, man, let's talk about this FBS versus HBCUs, man. First game, man, that we got on here is the Grambling versus LSU game, right? First off, we talked about this last night. A lot about it. Grambling came out, and in my opinion, they laid down a phenomenal game plan. Miles Crowley looked amazing. He looked amazing. He came out, he was slinging that thing. He got hot quick. Williams got hot. He got it, got a thing. He was like 106 yards rushing, I believe. Looked real good. Against a LSU defense that has struggled against the pass, but not necessarily struggle against the run. And Grambling had their way. Coach Hull, I think, is a testament to him, to that stable of running backs, and to Miles Crowley and the wide receivers as well. So big shout out to them for coming out and doing that.
Yeah, I think you got to give a lot of credit to that offensive line.
Facts
for both opening
heroes.
up Yeah, for opening up the running lanes for the running game, and then protecting Miles Crowley to the point to where he didn't get sacked at all while
I
he
don't
was
know
in
if
the
he was even
game.
touched all night.
If he was, it wasn't
It
many
was
times.
after the game when they shook his hand.
But yeah, he got great protection all night, which allowed him to stand there and drop some of them dimes he had last Saturday night, I should say. Great throw on the touchdown pass to J.R. Winters. Great catch on that touchdown play. They started with back-to-back scoring drives to start the game off. I mean, they would have had 3 in a row if they would have made the field goal. So I mean, definitely came out great offensively. Defensively, still a lot to work on, some areas to
A
improve,
lot.
but I think there's a lot to take away from Grambling. If you are Grambling, there's a lot to take away and be excited about offensively from this team,
Yeah,
especially whenever you go in the SWAC play.
right. I don't care who you playing against. If you playing against the you know what I'm saying, the number one offense or whatever, man, there should be no reason your team should give up a touchdown on every drive. There should
Yeah,
be no reason. That is a cause for concern, and it's something that I asked about last week
what
about
didn't they get 1 4th down stop at the end of the game?
at the end of the game. That was it
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
third string in,
yeah,
but the third
yeah.
string had already scored twice, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I just was trying to make a testament to the
I
fact that
understand.
they did get 1 stop.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and it's fair. It's fair. You know, I shouldn't. It's fair.
But yeah, but
They got
I
work
get
to
what
do.
you're saying. Yeah, there's some area for
They were
improvement for sure.
that defense supposed to be the staple of this team. They were supposed to come out here and um defense was going to be all right, pick up where they left off, and the offense was going to be the one who had to step up. Offense has stepped up.
Yeah, offense
So,
stepped up a lot. Yeah,
so I do want to give, like I said, kudos to them for that. The question: Why did you pull Miles Crowley? Got a chance to ask Coach Jackson, Coach Hugh, and and it made sense. At the point where when Miles threw that interception and LSU went down and scored, the game was out of reach.
mm-hmm.
They have conference play coming up. You don't want to risk him getting hurt. You've seen all you need to see. You know how good
That makes
Miles
sense.
is. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty much solidified himself. Let's go ahead and get Calvez some work so he can get some confidence in the event he has to come in later in the game. Let's get him
Yeah,
some work and we can move on. So
that makes sense.
yeah.
That makes sense.
So I like that one though. It was you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they came out, Grambling came out with great tenacity. So that's my word for them for right now.
The word of the day.
Yeah, that's the word of the day, tenacity. FAMU USF. This was one I
Got to be
picked.
more careful.
Has to be more careful. I picked them to I forgot what I said the score was gonna be, but I picked them to win. I remember that. Well, as we know, that didn't happen, but FAMU fought. The score was, I forget what it was at half.
They
But
dug
the final
themselves a
score,
hole.
yeah, the score, they ended up losing by 2 touchdowns, but that game was closer than that.
I mean, they dug themselves a hole in the first half and got down by like 10 or something like that. I don't remember the exact score, but I know they got down early in that game and had to, fight their way back the whole game, which they did, and they kept it, close the whole game pretty much, but they just could never undo that beginning.
Yeah. So it was end of the first quarter, it was 14-7. End of the half, it was 24-14.
Yeah.
But at one point, that score was 20, if I'm not mistaken, 17-14. So that game was close. FAM was pretty much matching South Florida, kind of, so almost, I ain't gonna say score for score, but they were doing what they can. Musa threw for 374, 1 touchdown, but 3 interceptions. Yikes.
If I'm not mistaken, 2 of them were in the first half.
So, yeah, man. Whenever I can't wait for the the SWAC hadn't sent over the from today for the teleconference, the recording, because Coach Simmons talked about that, the night and day, the tale of two halves with Jeremy Musa, and I forget his exact quote, but it's almost to the extent of, he made some good throws in the first half. There was some misses he had, but he kind of settled down, and you can see he made some really good reads, got comfortable.
Yeah.
Definitely
looked like a different quarterback that second half.
Yeah.
And offense just looked totally different. Like they had a different demeanor about them in that second half.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for they got it. I just want to see FAM actually do a little bit more with that running game to help them out. This game, of course, sacks are factored into it. They only had 19 yards rushing. So
you gotta help Jeremy Moose out a little bit.
All right. Yeah, because I'm looking at the rushing. Yeah, Musa was, saying because of sacks, he was, it says 6 carries from for negative 18 yards. So Yant only had 22 himself, and Jennings had 11. They gotta establish the run. And granted, I think one of their toughest, the thought to be toughest competition, with Jackson State is behind them now. But they're gonna run into some what I think is, saying hell, it's not their next game, but in 2 weeks when Alabama State come to town,
that's a damn good defense.
That defense is, yeah. So you got that. You got Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M's defense looked pretty good. So it's gonna be. They were out there. Let's see. They were out there against Lane for 33 minutes and gave up 13 points. I mean, it's Lane, but good question. D-Law says, so who is the best quarterback in the SWAC?
Hard to say anybody playing better than Miles Crowley right now.
Man, listen. They did not talk about him at all during all season, but Miles Crowley looks like he could, take that.
I think right now Miles Crowley playing the best in SWAC.
It's hard to argue against that. Very hard to argue against that. So,
and I know you can't just look at his stats in the LSU game, but if the eye test, I think Miles Crowley playing better than anybody else right now in the SWAC.
Listen, Miles Crowley was making some, and this is a common phrase you hear. He was making NFL type throws, but he was fitting that thing in some windows. Like it was very apparent that he came in that game ready to prove a point.
Yeah,
and I really do think he made some money for himself on Saturday. So, if Musa can clean up some of those mistakes,
he got the talent to be one of the best quarterback. I mean, he got the skill set, but he just got to put it all together.
Yeah. It'll be interesting though. See how this plays out going down the line. Next up, man, this one is a heartbreaker to me, man. This hurt my feelings.
That ending, man.
Morgan State versus Akron.
This one you need that Dennis Green clip. They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Let's see. For those of you who don't know, Morgan State was, playing against Akron. It was about 50-something seconds left in the game.
59, if I'm not mistaken.
Morgan State fumbled. Akron scooped and scored and took the lead and ended up winning 24-21.
I don't even really want to talk about it, dog. It's like I just knew that game was over and Morgan State had did it. I just knew they had beat Richmond and then turn around and beat the FBS school. I was getting ready to put them number one on our poll. You know what I mean? I was ready for all of
At
that. I
worst,
was
too.
ready.
At worst, too.
Man, you beat a FBS and a ranked FCS team.
Yeah,
it's hard for me
I
not
agree.
to put you number one. But I mean, they gave it away, bro. Like simple as that. They just
Speaking of giving
coughed
it away,
right up.
Speaking of giving it away, the final score was 24-21. Morgan State threw a pick six and had a scoop and gave away a scoop and score. So 14 points they literally gave to Akron and lost
And then
by
they
3.
had a touchdown. They had a touchdown that was called an incomplete pass. Where from the video I seen on Twitter, from that angle, it definitely looked like a touchdown. But yeah, they gave the game away, man. It's as bad as it is, and as hard as it is to say, it is what it is. They coughed it up.
All right. But man, that was, like I said, it was a tough one for Morgan State. But I think this bodes well for them going down the stretch. I don't want to see them lose 2 weeks in a row based on, you know what I'm saying, like you hit that lull. You know what I'm saying, fall off. I really did think that, and I said it last week. We was talking about this game. We said, do you think, you know what I'm saying, we said, well, you know what I'm saying, do you think they ride the high of beating Richmond, or do you think it's a hangover? They came in with that high. I was under the mindset they're gonna ride that high, and then it'll be like Townsend. That's who they got next. I think he'll, you know what I'm saying, they'll ride the high, and then it'll be like somebody like Townsend will knock them out. Now with that happening,
I feel sorry. Yeah, I feel like they
Morgan State might beat the brakes off of everybody on their schedule outside of one team that I honestly think they got a real good chance. They got a real chance.
What that game at?
It's, if I'm not mistaken, is at Morgan State. So it's a Thursday night game. So let me double check that. But if I'm not mistaken,
yeah, man, that defense so legit, bro. That defense, man, and I honestly think even if they do lose to that team, that Central, if they do lose to Central, this is FCS playoff team, bro. That's how good this team is.
yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Cavill says it's in Baltimore.
And then that'll be
interesting, doesn't it?
And then that'll be the second Thursday night game for Old Central too.
Yeah. Speaking of HBCU playing FBS, Central got one this weekend.
Central takes on UCLA in LA. Dude,
shout out UCLA for playing HBCUs back-to-back years.
Yeah, that's true. Let's wait till Thursday to really talk about that one.
Yeah, I was just, Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's gonna be a good one. I think that'll be. I'll wait till Thursday. Me and Mike said our offense is questionable, but our defense is 100% legit. We could hold Townsend to under 7 points. I can see that. I honestly, it's gonna be hard when you have. So realistically, your defense is held two teams, one of the highest scoring offenses, and a struggling FBS team, but an FBS team at that. You've held both teams offenses to 10 points.
Yeah, you just got to get your offense to stop giving the other team points.
Yes. I said at the beginning of the season, the quarterback doesn't have to be, if he's any semblance of decent, if he's just remotely decent, Morgan State has a chance in every game. He's he's got to be a game manager. You don't need to.
Yep.
You need him to be 2000 and you need him to be 2011 AJ McCarron. Well, you don't need him to light the world on fire. You just need him to get a playmakers the ball.
Be Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. There you go.
With that defense, just hold on to the ball, make smart decisions with it, and put your, even if you don't score, that's fine. Just pin them deep and let your defense go to work.
Yeah. Agreed. Man, let's talk about a few D2 versus D1 HBCU matchups that we had this weekend.
Hampton, we looking at you. What is this boy doing?
Hampton won a
oh,
they
not
own
Hampton. I'm sorry. Yeah, they lost to somebody else.
All right, so let's look at this. Lane
going up the road from you?
Yeah, let's go up the road. Lane versus Alabama A&M. By the way that Alabama A&M played against Lane, they going to the Celebration Bowl. It's a done deal. Alabama A&M is the number 1 team in the country. Seriously though, Alabama A&M played a really good game against a tough Lane team. The score going to half, it was 14-7. And every time Lane was driving the ball, so 2 things happened. I've seen fluke interceptions before. I've never seen the same fluke interception happen twice in a game.
Yeah.
Lane dropped back and threw a pass that bounced off of the receiver, and the safety was like just so happened to be coming and dove and caught it like fingertip grab on the ground. The next time Alabama A&M was going down, and Langford threw a pass, and the D lineman batted it back like towards, back towards the offense, and the lineman was laying on the ground, stuck one hand out and caught it. So you had literally 2 almost, two basically interceptions caught where people were pretty much laying on the ground. I've never seen that. But man, Lane played like I said, they played a good band. Lane got all about 42 people in a band, and they was loud. They was loud. They was playing. It sounded good. So, but nah, man, I had a good time at that game. But
Kelly Flick said that game surprised him.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of what would surprise me if I had to make a comment on that, is just how easily Alabama A&M won that game.
That second half, they scored 3 times. They literally scored 3 times in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter. Of the third quarter. Easily.
Just blew the game open.
Way open. So, what up, Noah? Noah said they just finished up a session.
What's good with you, my boy? Jay White said A&M gonna kick Southern ass. She be on Southern, boy.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I did see our people from the Hill podcast, Jennifer, J Dot, and DT, chopped it up with them. So it was good to see. Man, let's talk about this one. This one. Shout out to our homeboy D2 HBCU football. He been talking about this for a minute. The SIAC has a knack for spoiling the SWAC's fun. Miles went down the road to Alabama State, and they put something on him. Funny thing about it, Ant, sitting in Louis Cruz Stadium, and the announcer said, here's some scores around the SWAC. The loudest cheer I heard all night. It wasn't when A&M scored a touchdown. It wasn't when Van got on the field. They said, Miles is up 21-17 on Alabama State. Whole crowd erupted. It was loud. Both sides was clapping. Lane side, A&M side. I even seen the mascot. Give a shout out. But yeah, man. So here's something else. Shout out to Mo Carter. Mo put me because Mo called that game. Mo said, I got something more interesting for you. Alabama State got a pick 6.
So their offense only scored
10 points.
10. Yeah, 1 touchdown. That's what I was about to say. 1 touchdown. Is that why we saw the change of quarterback?
I asked Coach Robinson about that today, and he said that God, what's the kid's name? That came from Stewart. Said Stewart had a really good summer, and he really wanted to get him some in-game action. Here's why I think that, and granted, I listened and I understood, and I believe he's telling the truth. Here's the problem. He could have got in-game action against Southern, and he didn't. It was fourth quarter when you were down and had to throw the ball that you put this man in.
Yeah, my thing is you put him in. So, a couple things with that quote. Were you trying to win the game? Because if you down and you feel like D is the best quarterback, is the quarterback who gives you the best chance to win, why take him out the game?
Mm-hmm.
And if you were trying to win, then you must felt like, I think his name Damon Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
But you put Stewart in the game. If you were trying to win, you must have put him in the game because you felt like he gave you a better chance to win. So if you felt like he gave you a better chance to win that game, is it going to be the same going forward?
He said that competition, he he expects there to be competition.
They got a bye week, don't they?
Going through the bye week, with, pretty much all positions. And Kelly, Flitz brings up a great point. The other touchdown that they scored was a 50-yard bomb where Keyshawn Johnson, he just outran the coverage. D Davis threw it now, and it was kind of an overthrow. Keyshawn Johnson stretched out, caught it with one hand and ran it. It was a beautiful catch, amazing play. But yeah. I'm not on the listen. I'm still not on the D Davis trash. All that kind of. I'm never gonna talk bad about that guy because I do believe he won Alabama State's more games than he's lost them. So
I thought there was a butt coming from in that statement.
But I will say, I do think they have better options now. Last year, Miles Crowley, I think he should have but I don't know.
I mean, I ain't gonna go there.
Hold on, I'm just want to look at the schedule. I just want to mark something down real quick.
I ain't gonna go there.
Let's see. When is this game? Is it November?
Oh yeah, that one's gonna be interesting.
November, what's this? November 4th in Mobile, Alabama. Grambling at Alabama State. Yeah, we're gonna be there.
I ain't missing that one.
Rev, get the grill. Get the grill ready.
Yeah, just give me a room ready, Rev. I'm coming.
Yeah. But yeah, that was like I said, I think D Davis is a serviceable guy. He's only a sophomore. So
yeah, he's still young. And nobody's saying that, even if he gets benched, that he can't come back later on, even this season, and make some plays and win some games for Alabama State. Just saying that right now there needs to be a competition to see who's the best guy for them going forward.
All right. But I think it's fair. You know, what I'm saying it's good that Coach Robinson is being at least transparent and saying that, yeah, there is a competition. You know, we'll see where it goes from here. But I think the writing's on the wall. Just to be fair. So, but man, let's next one. Savannah State versus Bethune.
Bethune getting us in the win column.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Woody, man, getting his first dub as a head coach for his alma mater down there at Bethune. I think the final score was 31-6, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it was I'm gonna double check. Make sure I ain't lying to y'all. Yep, 31-6. Looking at this one, quarterback Sprague, 23 or 29, 223, 2 touchdowns, 2 tutties.
Hell of a game. Hell of a game.
Your running back had 6 carries for 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's like, I mean, honestly, it looks like just like pure domination. Time of possession was actually fairly even. It was basically a 31-29 split in favor of Bethune. It was a 30 minutes, 47 seconds versus 29 minutes, 13 seconds. They were 5 of 10 on third down, 25 first downs. I mean, what can you say?
Good confidence booster for Bethune.
Yeah. Very big confidence booster. As they head down to take on Miami Hurricanes. And then they'll get back after that to basically then after that they go to Jackson State and then Alabama State.
Yeah, they needed that confidence boost.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm not saying I can't see another win coming. If Alabama State,
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the next couple weeks.
Yeah, if they play like they like they did against Savannah State, the Alabama State game looks a lot more winnable now.
Yeah, just
the Southern game looks a lot more winnable now. So
yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure because some of these offenses from Southern and Alabama State, it ain't like you got to put up a lot of points to beat them. Yeah, Mike Wilder.
Mike, he be on one, boy. He be on one. Yeah, that's funny. Chuck said he actually watched the game live on YouTube, the Bethune-Cookman Savannah State game.
I was looking for it on HBCU League Pass, but I couldn't find it. I guess I was looking in the wrong spot.
Yeah, we got to do well. No comment. I think one of the last big games, D2 versus D1, Morehouse versus Howard.
Yeah,
that was that one was a lopsided game. Howard ended up winning. It was like 50-something, 13.
Yeah, it was ugly.
It was very ugly. But here it is again. Howard is again getting a confidence booster after that very impressive win over Eastern Michigan. They were able to come out and assert dominance against Morehouse 65-19. I'm sorry. There you go. Quentin Williams, who has been a thorn in some people's side. By some people, I just mean Erica. But he went 17 of 26, 205, 3 tutties. Hawthorne had 5 carries and 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was actually mentioned. He didn't get player of the week for the MEAC, but he was another notable mention, notable performance that they mentioned him. So yeah, it was like I said, a huge win. Played under the lights. They brought in lights for that game. So
yeah, it meant more than what it meant more for the culture than on the field, I think.
Oh yeah. Flick said that's his guy. Case Hawthorne, that's my guy. Yeah. He had like I said, he had a really good game. He didn't get player of the game, and understand. I mean, not player of the day, player of the week, offensive player of the week for the MEAC. I honestly, the person who got it is kind of explained itself, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that here in a minute. All right. Pass this, because we always talking about FBS versus, you know what I'm saying, HBCUs. We talk about D1 versus D2. I actually asked, there's another question, talked to Coach Simmons and asked him about because he talked about, you know, saying all the those matchups, and I asked him that separation, that and how these games are so competitive now. Is it due to transfer portal? Is it due to actually getting those, you know what I'm saying, D1 guys and bringing them in? You know, what can you attribute to it? His answer: coaching. Coaching has gotten a lot better. When you look at HBCUs as a whole, I want to take that and look at it as well. Something I was wondering, if you look at, we talked about SIAC, but if you look at like CIAA, who had, you know what I'm saying, wins over some of those, you know, MEAC schools. This might be kind of hard to say, but I was gonna say, are we looking at like D2 schools with comparable coaching or better coaching?
I ain't gonna say better. I mean, maybe than some D1, but like overall, I think it's comparable. I mean, when you look at some of these D2 schools, like what Benedict's doing, you know, what Virginia Union, some of them schools are doing at the D2 level. Yeah, I think definitely some of these coaches are on par with some of the FCS counterparts, but I'm not gonna say that it's better as a whole. I can't go that far.
Okay. Only reason I ask, because I'm looking, we talked about, you know what I'm saying, Miles beating Alabama State. But then you had Central State beating Valley. You've had Bowie State
First
with their upset
year
win.
head coach Valley.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, Bowie State had a first year head coach, and they beat who was it?
Norfolk.
No, Norfolk lost to
Dale
State. Dale State got a first year head coach too, though. So yeah,
yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but it's just like I'm looking at, because, you know, comparing. But see, this isn't just like this year though. If you look at it, there's talent. I mean,
I just think the talent gap is just not as big as people think between FCS and D2.
That's true too, and I don't think it's as big as people think it is from
no, it's not
FCS to FBS either.
The only difference is the numbers, man. But the talent ain't that big of a difference, bro.
Yeah, man. All right, man. Let's talk about some of these. It was a lot of classics, a lot of conference game. That's funny. No, I said Dave said he not saying nothing because Tuskegee coming up for homecoming.
Yeah. Just wait till that one over.
Yeah. Flit's transfer portal has evened out the talent gap from FCS to D2. I can agree with that.
I agree.
Said, yeah, Jamie Walker was talking about that. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's same from FBS to FCS. Same. It's still applicable.
Yeah. Southern Heritage Classic. You had UAPB versus Tennessee State. This used to be the Jackson State versus Tennessee State game, but UAPB has replaced them. That's somebody else. UAPB dug themselves in a hole in this game and was steady trying to climb out.
Yep. It's similar to what happened against Tulsa. You know what I mean? They started off with Tulsa. They started off good,
Right.
and then they got down quick after that. But this game, they just didn't have that same fast start. But it was like the exact opposite, I should say, of the Tulsa game because they had a slow start, but then picked it up. But they just got to put a complete game together.
I agree. UAPB, they get their first home game this weekend. Let me go ahead and check who they playing. Let's see. UAPB Brink Miles.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Well, at least they know not to take them lightly.
Yeah. They got Miles because he actually talked about that. Coach Hampton said Miles got coming in off that hot win over Alabama State. So
can't take them lightly now.
No, you can't. No, you can't. I'm just looking at their schedule. They got Miles. They go to A&M for a Thursday night game. Then they welcome in Southern. They go to Mississippi Valley, and then they take on Alcorn, Jackson State. Both of those are home games. At Prairie View, they bring Grambling to them, and then at Texas Southern to finish out the season. So it's gonna be interesting.
Kelly said Miles is back.
Miles is back. Yeah. Man. Man, this is a game that surprised me. Battle of the Bay. You've got Hampton coming off a big win over Grambling, taking on a Norfolk State that lost on a wild ending, I guess you could say.
Yeah, definitely was a wild ending.
But Norfolk State came out and they dominated from the jump.
Punched them in the mouth.
Yeah. What Mike Tyson say? Everybody got to play until they get punched in the face.
That's big facts.
So, yeah, that was kind of eye opener. That final score was Norfolk State 31, Hampton 23. The game was not that close. It was Hampton scored 7. It was 7-0 at the end of the first, 14-9 at the end of the at halftime. 24-16, and then again 31-23. It was just Cons for Hampton lit them up. 15-20, 199 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Zealous from Hampton, who had a great game against Grambling. He was 14-26, 211, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Their running game, their running game kept them in the game. Burris had 12 carries. When I say they, meaning Hampton, he had 12 carries, 137 yards. But yeah.
I guess it's safe to say that Norfolk's defense just made more plays than Gremlins.
Yeah. Flick say, I know you feel the type of way.
Yeah, I wish that Hampton team would have showed up that first week.
Yeah, man. That kind of it's funny. I think they spoiled Miles Crowley coming out party because he was
definitely.
He was on fire, and it was
kind
of overshadowed.
If they win that game, yeah,
he's player of the week easily. But yeah, we talked because when we talked about it, we previewed it. I said, will Hampton be 2-0? Like, oh yeah, definitely. That's easy money. Yeah, about that.
If I would have told you Hampton 1-1, you would have thought the loss was the Grambling.
Grambling, yes. That week one. What was that about that week one overreaction?
Definitely.
Jeez. Oh man. Now, speaking of, I gotta talk about a game.
Overreaction.
Overact, yes. The Aggie-Eagle Classic.
It's Eagle Aggie for another year.
Man, forget it. Aggie-Eagle. Josh gonna have to see me. Because he got me out here. He got me out here apologizing to A&T folks. Or he don't. His team got me out here apologizing to A&T folks. I apologize. I said y'all was gonna get beat. Now I actually was close on my second one. I said 31-13. I was close on that one. Y'all should have put up 40 something. And at least make me look like I knew what I was talking about. Now I'm out here apologizing. My bad. My bad, A&T.
The rivalry games, man. That's how it is, bro.
Speaking of rivals, A&T still got a rivalry with the end zone. They don't like to see them. I ain't changing on that. A&T has a problem getting in the end zone.
Do they have a CAA rival?
Do they have a CAA rival? They got
or is it Hampton?
Who are they talking about clamoring saying was so good? Elon? Or somebody?
Yeah, I think it was Elon.
Elon. Like, yeah, when Elon come in, it's a big game. We're gonna sell out that game or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, Greensboro, y'all got to find a way to get in the end zone.
The best part of that game was what Trey Oliver said afterwards about if you want to play in classics, you gotta come to the SWAC to me.
That's funny. That's funny.
Oh man, that was the best part, man. That video. Shout out to HBCU Game Day for putting that out early, man. That's Elon called a. Oh, okay.
Okay. Elon, yes, Elon called A&T their rival.
Interesting. I didn't know they had one in the CAA. That's very interesting. But yeah, Coach Oliver.
I'm sorry.
Coach Oliver stole the show with that comment, though, bro. Shout out to HBCU Game Day for that and that article they put out. But man,
that is sickening.
He went straight Suge Knight on him, bro.
That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Oh man. Then man, let me go to another one, man. Another game. I ain't gonna say it was a disappointment. It kind of went how I thought it was gonna go in a way. BJ can be mad at me. The Boombox Classic. That's what I'm gonna call it. The Boombox Classic. Listen. Y'all gotta get, I ain't gonna say get Dooley some grace, but y'all let Dooley Nick to.
I think he's safe for one more year though.
I do too. I think he is. It's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, scuttlebutt, but D-Lob, stop. D-Lob say Elon versus North Carolina A&T Battle of the Bands is lit. Boy, stop.
Oh man,
that's hilarious. Oh man, but man, Jackson State versus Southern. And what's your take? I'm gonna go there. What's your take?
Is there another quarterback on the roster? This is an Alabama State situation to me. I think they got a better quarterback that they're not playing. And just like last year, and just like Alabama State last year, I'm wondering, are you gonna be stubborn and stick with your guy, or are you gonna keep having a quarterback competition to see who's the best guy to lead this team going forward? I just don't know, bro. Offensively, it's so much left to be desired offensively. They got so many playmakers. They got great running back room. They got receivers out there, and they just not playing to their full potential because of the quarterback.
Everybody
and,
said blood
and,
was
and Southern fans, like they tired of it, bro. And I
yeah.
can't say I blame them because you got to be. It's got to be frustrating to watch a game knowing you got a better option or possibly have a better option, but you don't know if you got a better option because you won't even try them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's got to be frustrating.
Yeah.
You
Southern fans
can't
have
spell Dooley without an L though. That came from a Southern fan, by the way.
yeah.
Sorry for the ambulance driving by my house.
Oh, it's all good. I just make sure they ain't, you know what I'm saying?
No, they
Coming
not
for you.
coming here. Nah, we good.
Coming for because you was killing them. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. Everybody clamored for blood. I still say this: blood in that first drive against Alabama State was on it. First half, I'll say. But the second half, after he got like that strip fumble, he was off after that. It was
Well, I don't know if he
Pick
was ever
City.
on this weekend.
Yeah. So
I
I
think
don't know.
I think that's another situation where it's like DD. You know what I mean? Like I think he still got potential. I just, you know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? I just don't know if right now it's his time.
Yeah. I can legitimize that one. So but I do want to talk about two teams that are rolling right now. Tuskegee and Benedict. With Tuskegee, as down south football said earlier, A&M got them for homecoming. And they look good right now. They look really good. Last year, Benedict, we talked about how good they were with that defense and everything.
New quarterback, same thing.
Benedict is in the two games, they have outscored their opponent 86-0.
That
They have
defense
not given up a field goal. They have not given up a touchdown.
That defense still on point, man.
Shout out to Coach Berry. If what Zach say is true, him going to South Carolina State would be dangerous.
Yeah.
Talent rich, you know, as far as like Coach Buddy Pugh, and I said this in a tweet, has been so good maximizing the talent he has. If Coach Berry can go there and do the same with that, you know what I'm saying, with that, you know, with his concepts and stuff.
It's a perfect transition though, ain't it? Because you got Buddy Pugh. What's South Carolina State known for on the Buddy Pugh defense, physicality, you know what I mean? Smash mouth type football. What's Benedict known for on the Coach Berry? You know what I'm saying? Defense, smash mouth football. So it's the perfect transition. You just keep that same mentality going, just with a new guy at the helm.
Listen, I know I do a lot of I told you so, but I want to say this. When we were talking about this summer, games we're looking forward to. One game I said, and people, and I was in HBCU nightly, and I was, you know, why? They ain't that good. I'm looking forward to Miles versus Benedict. That's a game I think will be really good. It's like, wow, Miles ain't that good. Miles wasn't good last year. They didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be kind of it's gonna be kind of the same thing. That game looked really interesting now. Very interesting. And then with the SIAC being divisionless, we can see that matchup twice. We can see Tuskegee versus
That's
either one of those teams.
Tuskegee Benedict would be, man.
Again, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm trying to see who look at Tuskegee's schedule. So looking at their schedule, they've got Central State, Lane, of course, A&M, Morehouse, Edward Waters, Savannah State, Clark. They got Miles. Ooh, that's a November 4th as well. Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
See what I'll give me 1 second. I just want to see Miles' schedule. Who do they play? They got Benedict on October 7th. So they got UAPB, Clark, Central State, and then Benedict.
Man,
It's gonna be interesting. SIAC ain't playing with you. So all right, man. Let's talk player of the week. Let's see here. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this up. Here we go. Let's look at starting off with the SWAC. SWAC player of the week, Mr. Ryan Morrow from Alabama A&M. Mr. Isaiah Major. I'm sorry, Ryan Morrow for offensive player of the week from Alabama A&M. That man ran every which way. He did whatever he want. I think he ended up with 190 and 3 touchdowns. Every time I looked up, he was in the end zone. As a matter of fact, I was I was recording when he was running 1 touchdown, and before I could, you know what I'm saying, before I could move, he had ran by me and was celebrating in the back of the end zone by the dog houses. So yeah, that man did his thing. But to think they got him and Donovan Eagling. The only reason why he played or started, Donovan Eagling is kind of nicked up and they want to leave him out for precautionary reasons. And this man came in and ran for 190.
hell of a
So imagine that 2-headed monster.
hell of a backup.
Yeah. Isaiah Major on the defensive side, got it. For specialists, Terrell Gardner. He muffed the punt, the first punt of the game by Lane, but he came back and he made up for it with a punt return later on. That was I would say iced the game or seal it, but the game was over with anyway. But he definitely was the icing on the cake on that one. And newcomer of the week, Jonas Davis from UAPB.
Yeah.
So congratulations to those gentlemen there. Let's look at the MEAC. The MEAC. Mr. Otto Coombs. I just make sure I pronounce that right. Is it Coombs? Coombs? I'm gonna say Coombs. Mr. Coombs from Norfolk State, offensive player of the week. Jordan Toes from Morgan State was the defensive player of the week.
Huge interception late in that game.
I want to say this is back-to-back weeks that Morgan State got defensive player of the week. We keep talking about how good their defense is. So, rookie of the week was punter Shane Messenger from Morgan State, which is weird because the punter got the rookie of the week. And then the specialist of the week, Mr. Juan Velarde from North Carolina Central. And then the offensive lineman of the week was Demetrius Witherspoon from Howard. So
Howard gonna have somebody for defensive player. I mean, offensive lineman of the week every time.
yeah. CIAA announced theirs. Isaiah Freeman from Lincoln. Shout out to Lincoln, man, and Coach G on that big win. Zachariah Adams Duxon from Elizabeth City State got for running back. Malachi Langley from Lincoln, PA was the wide receiver. Cameron Porter from Bowie State was offensive lineman. Cameron Davis from Virginia State was the defensive lineman. Shamar Graham from Virginia Union was the linebacker. William Davis from Virginia Union was the DB. Kemo Clark for Virginia State was the wide receiver / kick returner, and Dante Lee Jr. from Shaw was the rookie of the week. So
Congratulations to all of them.
big facts. All right, man. Now, our top 10 for this week. D1 top 10. Let's go. There's a lot of shake up. I don't know, this looks weird, but because you see an 0-2 team, 0-2 team, you're like, man, 0-2 at number 10. They basically took Alabama State.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They took Alabama State spot. I
And
think
everybody else 0-2 after that.
Yeah, it's the eye test for Grambling for me over Alabama State.
Yeah.
Alabama State losing to a D2 school hurts them, but Grambling played well enough to win versus Hampton and looked decent against LSU, especially in that first quarter. So eye test wise, Grambling over Alabama State for me right now.
Yeah. Number 9, we got Hampton. Hampton could have been in the top 3, top 4. They not lost.
That top 3 kind of, I don't know about that.
They might. They might would have been top 3.
Over who?
Well, then again, it would have at least been top 4. Hampton could have been top 4. But I don't know, man. Well, we ain't got to hash that out. And number 8, Alabama A&M. After losing to Vanderbilt in a game that they actually had a fighting chance in, they came back. They came back and had a very impressive win over Lane. So they jumped to number 8. Tennessee State, similar, had a loss to Notre Dame, but then came out and beat a very feisty UAPB team. So they're at number 7. Prairie View, after their in the Dr. Cavill Bowl, Prairie View dropped their game this past week to Abilene Christian. So they dropped to number 6. Howard, after the very impressive loss to Eastern Michigan and the big win over Morehouse, they're up to number 5. Jackson State, after bouncing back after their loss to Florida A&M, they're up to number 4. Morgan State stayed steady at number 3. They're 1-1 on the season. Florida A&M stayed steady after their loss to South Florida, and North Carolina Central stayed steady after their win over North Carolina A&T. I ain't gonna lie, I might should have dropped Central just simply because I had to apologize. That shouldn't have had that.
Who you would have put at number 1? Morgan?
Miles?
Stop before they start making us do a D2 poll too, man.
Listen, if I do a D2 poll, it's gonna go like this.
Oh my Benedict, God, what a catch.
It's gonna go Benedict, Tuskegee, Miles.
Virginia
Everybody else
State,
filling the rest.
Virginia Union. That's the only, you know what I mean? Like, I
I'm
told you.
Behind you. I'm a little bit behind you, so yeah.
My bad, but man, what a catch.
Yeah.
I needed that for fantasy reasons.
Yeah. Man, I should have took that over under. It was just at 28, man. And I was like, I don't want to take it. I should have took it. But anyway, that's what we got for the poll. Dr. Cavill said, I like that, the Dr. Cavill Bowl. That's what it should be.
Very fitting.
Yeah. What else you got, man? Before we get ready to get up out of here.
That's all I got for tonight, my boy. Save the rest of it for Thursday.
Yeah, we'll be back on Thursday, man, to break down some of these big matchups coming up this week. Preview a few things. We'll have like I said, we should have Kelly Flicks on here. Maybe get some, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? I gotta reach out. We might have from the Hill podcast as well, kind of talk about the Southern game. Because you know what they said. And Jay White been saying they say they're gonna be 5-1 going to the Magic City.
Said that. That's what they said.
And they said they got checks, you know what I'm saying? What's the invoices got to be paid. So we'll see.
We're gonna find out, ain't we?
We definitely gonna find that. But if nothing else, man, we'll see y'all on Thursday. Like that. We out. This show was presented by betonline.ag.
Bring me my money.